Good morning, everybody. Good job, Native. Proud of you, girl. Good job. You've been stacking some days together. Ain't you close to a payout or something? Good morning. So we can hear you connect to your trade copy.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everybody. You should be close to a payout because you've been stacking days with me for like the last 2 weeks. At least one, like at least something to be rewarded for your efforts. Something. If not, then we gotta talk. I'm trying to pass this eval. How? How you trying to pass this eval for 2 weeks? What happened? How you made $900 yesterday and still trying to pass the eval? That should be a third of the way. Not unless you, not unless you be getting chopped up trading during Asia or doing something. Because from what I've been seeing, you've been making $300 or $400 here and there for the last 2 weeks. Something's going on. I mean, losses happen, so that has to be what happened. I lost 2K yesterday. That's what messed you up. I was only 280 away. That's exactly what it was. Okay, that makes sense. That's exactly what happened. Okay, that makes sense. You had a huge loss that set you back probably about 3 or 4 days worth, 5 or 6 days worth of work. Okay, now that makes sense. Look at that dump. This market is not goofing around. It's not here to really goof around with us. Okay. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Um. I hope that everyone's doing pretty well today. We are still in intraday sell side delivery. So if you're confused on as to why the market just randomly keeps dumping 2%, like will go up 2% and they'll give up the entire move, it's because if you're confused, that's because you don't understand true market structure. This was something that I also had to understand. Rather, so true market structure says that we're in intraday sell side delivery, so we're going to be hunting sell side. It does not matter how many buy orders come through to this tape. The market's going to be inherently designed to hunt sell side until we shift that delivery model. When we shift the delivery model, then we'll be inclined to hunt buy side, and all serious dips for 2 3 hours will be bought. So it's not going to change. My entire goal while you're in here is just to point things out to you, and when you see them, I mean, it should be undeniable. Like you should literally go, oh whoa, I did not see that before. Now I see exactly now I see exactly what it was talking about. I see exactly what that dude is talking about. So now it's up to me to try to figure out how I can participate with respect to my risk in the account that I'm trading, if that makes sense. Alrighty. So that's your only job while you're in here. And then your other job while you're in here is if you're trading, you need to be in here listening to the things I'm saying. So if something insane happens, I can alert you. Or like if I see something weird and you're in the opposite position and you're green, you can probably close the position to save yourself money in real time. So your job is not complete even once you get to profitability. Being profitable is just the first step. I'm sorry, understanding is the first step. Being profitable is just the second step. The third step is staying profitable and continuously evolving your trading strategy in regards to how to manage your risk. Look at this Judas swing candle. They dumped it and they immediately reversed it. That's your other goal. Like once you get there, you have to stay there. And you need to be around people that can keep your mind sharp and that you can interact with that know exactly what they're talking about. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what's going on as far as that's concerned. Alrighty. So market dump. Is that a 15-minute busy? No, that's just a 5. Mark, guys, listen.
It, it's because a lot of the memory chip stocks got chopped up a little bit. SanDisk, Micron.
Yes, in there. Exactly. Exactly, sir. Guys, listen. Uh, we should not be shorting this. Listen to what I'm telling you. You should not seriously be shorting this. I'm talking about like married to shorts right now. We are still, no, guys. The market is reacting out of it. Guys, I understand we're in intraday sell side, so you need to be looking for shorts on pops after sweeps of liquidity upwards and confirmation that we're getting ready to take out sell side lower. Those are the easier trades to take. Good morning, everyone. All in trade says good morning, sir. Those need to be the kinds of trades that we need to be trying to take, okay? Like easier trades, as in like we come up, we bounce, we pop one of these highs or something, and like you can clearly see a drawn liquidity lower, and we target that, and we take that base and we done. Let's try not to make your jobs harder than it has to be. Like stop shorting inside the hole. Don't do that. All right. Stop long in the top. Don't do that, especially not an intraday sell side. You will get hurt doing that for sure. Uh, secondly speaking, um, what I was getting ready to say was we need to not seriously be trying to short this right over here, especially not in the hole. Do you see this whole purple area on my screen? That is a huge 15-minute busy that we displaced from. I can't I can't remember what the reasoning on as to why that was created. Like I'm gonna have to look back on this. This was this may have been like well, this was last Thursday. So whatever happened last Thursday at like 11 o'clock, I don't know like if it was a peace deal. I don't know what happened. But 2 weeks ago on the 11th, we created this huge 15-minute busy, and this market keeps bouncing from the zone. If you see that the market has been doing something 4 or 5 times nonstop, why do you keep on trying to like? Why do you keep on trying to do the opposite? Like I'm just trying to get your brain to like start to process that, right? If you've seen, for example, hold on, let me finish marking on this 15-minute sippy here on this ES, and then we're getting ready to get into what I think is going on. Guys, if you've seen that every single time we've touched this dang on thing, we've bounced. Like, look at this. One, we bounced. Well, obviously they liquidation squeezed it, but it was last night, and they were just scheming on a way to bounce this like this. Every single time we've had no serious follow through other than to sweep this, and every time we touch this, we bounce like this, and they start to curl us up. Why are you trying to structure? Why would you want to try to structure shorts in the zone? I'm being dead serious. Like, so it's probably best we either wait for this to be resolved or we wait for them to displace from this 15-minute busy, come up into this zone, maybe sweep this or this, start curling it over, or look like they're getting ready to attack something below that they left in their wake to come up here. That's like the easier trade to me. That's just what I'm thinking. Instead of trying to short it over here in this hole, right? I mean, that's just what I'm thinking. And like I know some are probably thinking, well, what if I missed out on the short? What if they go lower? Then great. If they go lower, then it gives you a better short. I mean, then it gives you a better long opportunity. Because if they go lower, then they're going to inverse this and then clear this, which is the caution which is the danger that we're taking caution of, or we're taking heed to. I'm being serious. So if they inverse this, then great. You know that they're getting ready to come here, and then start looking for a reason. That's why they're getting ready to bounce it and start targeting the liquidity that they engineered in their wake up here, like this, like here, 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 and here. I mean, like that's just what I'm thinking. And this has nothing to do with no strategy, dude. Like this is just reading the tape. That's just what I'm thinking. Like I don't want to make my job more harder than it has to be. All right. Um, you know. So anyway, let me pull out this Discord real quick so we can go over this pre-market trading plan. Michigan consumer sentiment at 10 a.m. 950 macro during this is bullish 90. I don't want to say 95. I'll probably say 90. I mean, I'm not going to edit that. I'm gonna just leave it as, but just understand I meant to say 90% of the time into 10 a.m. Michigan consumer sentiment release. Do not short that. Shorts are not allowed during this window. Guys, shorts are not allowed from 9:40. Guys, I don't care what short setup you have. If you are in a short and if you're in a green, close it.
No, do not do it.
Close it. Don't do that. from 9:46, 9:45 until at least until at least 10:05. Don't do that. Just trust me, okay? Like this is why you're here. Just trust me. Don't do no shit like that. I don't give a damn what you're looking at, and I don't care what model you're trading. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if you're trading a 4-hour model. I don't care. Don't do that. Just close the position, and then like if they bounce it, just re-enter. You get shit. What's the difference? Just re-enter then later for a
Yep.
better entry, or like, and then
Right.
like if they dump it, then just I mean you can just long it. I mean, come on, right? So like if they dump it, then you get the better exit on your short entry. And if you close it and they pump it, then just re-enter it as short on that 4-hour model that you were trading, or 1 day, or 10 week, or 6 month model that you're trading. I don't know what you're doing, but don't short that between 9:45 and 10:10, 10:05 at the earliest, 10:10 probably. Don't do nothing like that for that 9:50 macro. The 9:50 macro ends at 10:10. Don't do that. As you can tell, as you can tell, all pops have no real legs in intraday sell side. So it behooves you to figure out the market structure I keep referencing to help aid your trades. Market did a whole bunch of nothing on Thursday. Why so? Because look, SPY closed down less than 1/15 of a percent, closed up less than 1/15 of a percent, and SPX closed at the same exact spot it closed at the day before on Wednesday. Look, SPX closed up 1/10 of 1/10 of a percent, 1/10 of 1/10 of 1%. SPX did nothing but blow up people's accounts yesterday that didn't know when to walk away from their screen. We closed in the exact same spot. Nothing changed. Alrighty, so that's what I mean by that. And the levels that have the market trapped from 624 trade plan is still valid, so read it. Don't just forget these plans I send out when the next day rolls around. Like I send out a plan and like 2 days later you go, huh? What was that? Don't do that. Read this. This was why it's here. That's why you have access to this. Alrighty. Other people, they don't have
Yep.
access to this whenever they're not in here. You do, so take advantage of it. Every day is a new chess piece. So just because you just played one chess piece, are you going to forget the strategy that you just played before? Like 2 or 3 hands before? No, you're not. Like you're going to stick to the plan. Friday rules are in effect, so read it. I'm not going to read it. Click on this and read it. Please. I'm being dead serious. Reading is fundamental here. So if we go back to the 624 trade plan, I will go over this. The market is trapped. Where is it at? The market is trapped between 623 SPX gap fill at 74.74 and SPX 72.70.37 sell side flush that leads into a SPX gap fill at 7200. Okay? This market is trapped. This market is trapped between here and here. And it's double trapped right now because we're gapping down. Okay? So what does that mean? That means that we all need to come over here and set an alert right here at this zone. At 73.57, they're pinning the market more and more each day. And the name of this alert is going to be gap fill 6/26. Okay? And it needs to be crossing up. Because if you do crossing, it'll automatically trigger right now. Crossing up. That's the gap fill that was just created today. This market is trapped now between here and here. It's directly in the middle. If you just look at this chart right here, right now, tell me where they're getting ready to go. Tell me. Just look at the SPX for what 80% of people are looking at right now and tell me where they're getting ready to go right now. Do it now. Do it now. Quick. Gotcha.
Going down.
You don't know if they're getting ready to go down right now. You don't know. Look at this chart, Phantom. Look. It's trapped in the middle of nowhere. We don't know what they're getting ready to do. It's trapped
I
between
know.
yeah. Oh yeah, I thought you was being serious. It's trapped between here and here. Shit. They could come up here and fill this gap right now if they wanted to. Ain't nothing but 0.7% away.
Yeah,
It's
they
closer
could.
it's closer to this one than it is to this one. So with that being said, We don't know. And we just swept all of this stuff from yesterday, scared everybody out.
We are
So,
trapped though.
yeah, correct. We are 100% trapped. So, with that being said, I think it's best that I wait because I don't know
Yeah.
what direction they're getting ready to go. I have to gauge their temperature right now. I have to wait for this liquidity to be engineered. Like, this is a fresh new day, you know. This
Yeah.
right here, what you're looking at right now, these three candles, is what is what is what the New York session algorithm is looking at.
Yeah.
So, and what most people are looking at that are trying to day trade, they're not looking at no futures contract. They don't know what's going on. They're lost. So I'm going to wait and see what liquidity they engineer to stop them out. Then I'm going to make a decision. And these candles got to get smaller too. These candles are huge. These are 1/10% candles on SPX, and they are twice the size on NQ. That's a random 350, 400 tick candle to the upside and back to the downside and back to the upside and back to the downside again. You know that, right? Did you
Yes,
just see
sir.
that?
And
Pump, dump,
yeah,
and dump more. As best I wait.
knew we were going down
Yeah,
though.
correct. We're an intraday sell side, so it's more likely that we go lower. Does anybody have any questions about anything that I just said, please? I'm being serious. Yay or nay? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Not forever, because if you have a question, you can ask. Who is confused, rather? Is anybody confused about anything right now? Who is confused about anything right now? Who is confused about anything right now? I'm not even gonna take that chance.
Nah, this is chop.
I was talking about disconnecting my Blinus accounts. Yeah, my Blinus accounts. That's a
Yeah.
$9,000 payout. I'm not even gonna take that chance.
Nope.
I
I
removed them.
disconnected all mine.
I removed them completely. I
Fridays
fully
are not
removed them
good.
from the equation. I don't
I know that
I don't even
for
want there to
me.
be I don't even want there to be like a trade copy or glitch or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. You better on the hook 'em all.
Not even gonna do nothing like that. Not even a trade copy or glitch. Zero excuse. Because it was glitching yesterday. I'm gonna be tight.
Yeah. It's not doing anything.
I'm not going anywhere right now. We're in the exact same spot as we were
Yep.
5 minutes ago.
You know, I noticed for me, E.
What? Talk to me.
Mondays and Fridays are not good days for me.
Really?
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are like they go smooth for me. But Mondays and Fridays are just not good for me. I don't know why.
Hmm. Might just be a little hitch that we got to work through, brother.
Yeah, yeah. I have to go
I used to
back.
be like that too. Like I used to think that Fridays were the worst days to trade, but but so then like, so then like I just started to like focus in a little bit more and just adhere to my strategy and to risk management just a little bit more tightly. So
Yeah,
yeah, that used to
that's
affect
what
me too.
I'm gonna say. Yeah,
Because I used to listen to people where they go, "Don't trade on no Friday." Well, if I can't trade on a Friday, okay, cool. So like that means I only get to trade 4 days a week. And then like if you don't trade on a Friday, then you damn sure can't trade on no non-farm payrolls or no CPI. So if you're scared to trade on a normal Friday, then that means you shouldn't be trading on any of those volatile news releases either. So that effectively means I only get to trade at best case scenario, 15 days a month.
yeah. It's not that I'm scared to trade any day.
I won't talk about that. Yeah. But I'm
It's
listening.
just that I notice that I'm less profitable
Correct. So
on
we
a
need to
Friday or
so we need to
on a
figure out
Monday.
why.
Noted.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
need to figure out why that's the case.
Order canceled.
Remember what I said? Don't short this at 9:45. Don't do that. Remember what I said now? Don't do nothing like that. Watch and see now. Don't do nothing like that. If they just so happen to dump it for that dang on 10 minutes, then that's the case. But there's a 90% chance they don't do that. So don't do that. Okay, you've been warned. It is it is more bullish between 9:46 and up until like that up until like 9:55 for like a good portion of that 9:50 macro. It is it it is a higher statistic that they go higher than it is for the 11:50 macro. I have back tested that. Don't go contrary to that. I'm trying to tell you, don't do not do that now. You've been warned again for the 12th time. What's up, TJ? Look at that. They want to dump. Go lower. They don't want to go higher. It looked to me like they might want to target this 700 in this QQQ. Cause look at
Yeah.
this. Cause look at this QQQ starting to curl over. And if they go 700, they're not gonna stop there. Hell, they might even go to 698 and then bounce. So watch out now. You've been warned now.
Yep. Best
Oh,
thing to do is wait.
so who?
Best thing to do is wait.
That is correct.
Wait.
That is correct. That's the safe thing to do. Let's do. Let's normalize doing things that are safe, please, and trying our best to avoid things that are hard. Like trading is already. It's not complicated, but trading is already challenging at times. Like, dude, let's just try and make our job easier, please. Look at this cluster F that they got going on. This is seek and destroy almost. And there's people that elect to participate in that. I choose not to. If you enter into right now, you're assuming that they're going to ready to go higher or lower. You don't know that right now. You have no clue. It's just like how I told you, this market's trapped between these zones, and you don't know if they're ready to go higher or lower. That's why I put you on the spot, and I said, not Phantom. So don't Phantom don't need to say this. That's why you, whoever you're listening to, whoever listening right now, that was inside this pre-market meeting with us inside Discord. I said, quick, tell me now
Yeah.
on this candle right over here. And if you said higher on this candle, then they went higher for this one candle, and then they dumped it,
Yeah,
and you
they
lost and
dumped
blew
it.
up your account. If you said lower, then they went higher and faked you out, and then they dumped it, and then they went higher again, and now they're right back to where we opened up at. Um, 12 minutes ago, we've done nothing.
Yep.
This is how you know the market's trapped because it doesn't know where it's getting ready to go. So if you don't know where the market's getting ready to go, I'm sorry.
No.
If the market doesn't know where it's getting ready to go, what makes you think that you know where the where the market's getting ready to go? How do you know that?
No,
You
I took
don't.
one trade before the market opened and made like $100. That's it.
Good job.
I caught those first green candles before the market opened, right after that red hammer.
We in deep. We have to be in deep negative HVL. So I'm about to look right
Yeah,
now.
we definitely are.
I'm about to look right now. Double check. Remember what I said this morning? Remember what I said this morning? I feel the same about Monday and Friday. Well, hit or miss. Look at that God body pump. Remember what I told you about not shorting this morning in that meeting? Remember when I told you that now? Remember what I told you about not shorting that this morning now? I told you. Keep doing opposite of what I keep telling you in the morning, and you let me know what your account does. Keep doing that. Keep doing it. Look at that God body of a bounce. Your account cannot survive that if you were in the opposite direction. You for sure got stopped out.
Definitely.
They want to go higher and not lower. They're about to squeeze this higher into oblivion. Don't do that. Watch out. I'm not going anywhere right now. Let me check this. Let me check these HVL levels real quick. Yes, deep. Q's HVL level is at 716. I mean, Q's HVL level is at 728. Zero to T HVL is at 716. SPY HVL level is at put support is at 730. SPY HVL level is at 745. The robot sent out the alert. This alert was established for Phantom and for others because it it bothered me a little bit that Phantom woke up and he was unaware about the FOMC meeting coming at 2 o'clock. So he entered into a trade and it cost him a lot of money on some of his accounts. So now I was up for hours, probably multiple days, off of that one instance to make sure that doesn't happen again. So now all Phantom has to do is just check the NQ Insider trade plan because there will be an automatic robot that sends out an alert for the largest news releases 15 minutes before, and there's a weekly calendar schedule. So now there is zero excuse. That's only inside Discord. It will send it to you, and it is confirmed, and it will give you the estimates of what's to
Yeah,
be
my
expected.
mistake was like you said, but I was really just doing trying to do a test order. I should have
Yeah.
done it way above or below.
Mm-hmm. Zero DT's at 737.
Cause my mouse broke, doesn't work. So, but I got another one.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
HVL is at 7445. Zero DT is at 7400. we are so deep in negative HVL, I'm not even going to highlight them. I'm going to assume that this is going to be the regime for the rest of the day. Please understand that. This market's trapped between these two circles here. Understand that. That's why the market's just going sideways right now. We've done nothing. We're basically on the same candles we opened up on, especially on the SPX. We've done nothing and we've gone nowhere. The QQQ is on the same exact candles we opened up on, and they've just been churning people out and going sideways through seek and destroy. They shot this market up. Oh my gosh. They shot this market up in this God body candle, and they gave an even larger God body candle behind it to then dump it and now to go higher. This is 100% seek and destroy. Like, there was a discrepancy to where, like, I thought, hey, you know what, maybe this is 100% seek and destroy down. Shorts are not allowed. Remember when I told you? Remember what I told you? I said 946 until God knows when. Shorts are no longer allowed. Understand that, please. I think that they're about to go higher. I'm being dead serious. I seriously think these people about to go higher and come up here and pop this damn high. I don't think these people are trying to go lower. I think these people are to come up here higher and take out this damn 737 and take out this damn 70740 on this QQQ for this 950 macro. That's what my brain's telling me right now. On my soul, that's what my brain's telling me. But my brain's also telling me don't long the top of this candle right over here after we just pump 300 ticks in 60 seconds. So I'm going to wait.
Yep, wait.
Thank you for that confirmation. I'm being dead serious, fam. Thank you, sir. Because I was tempted to press that long button just now and have a bad day. I'm going to wait until these candles shrink. The wicks are printing before the bodies. They're giving God body 400 tick candles. These candles are 100 point candles, 100 plus point candles in less than 60 seconds. And they're going up and down 100 points every 30 seconds when the candle closes. And the wicks are printing before the bodies. I think it's best that we just do nothing. This is seek and destroy textbook. Why? Because if you're trading on any size, you cannot survive a 100 point move in the opposite direction against you. Reasonably speaking. You can't, reasonably speaking, you would not be able to do that. You would get stopped out. I'm gonna wait. That's what burned me yesterday. Nato says, yeah. How do you see where it's trapped at? Trey says, I'm just looking at what would be the major objective. I mean, the major objective is the SPX gap fill. And then there's another SPX gap fill and more sell side liquidity lower. And so we just gap down. So the market's trapped between those two gaps. This market is in no man's land. That's why this morning in the pre-market meeting, I said that. Look at where the market's trapped between. Look. The market's literally, look. This is why this morning, in the meeting, I said this. I said, look, we're just going sideways. Right here, I said, stop. Tell me where they're getting ready to go right now. Tell me. And no one answered because no one really knew. I was like, up or down? And now look what happened 20 minutes later since I said that. 25 minutes later since I said that. Look, they were going nowhere. But sideways. Because it's trapped between here. This is a major objective completion. Screw a QQQ or NQ gap fill. NQ gap fill is not a major objective completion. It's still, does it account for something? Sure. But it's not the same as the SPX gap fill. It's not the same. SPX is king. ES is king. Right? And then the other one is over here, which is the 5-5 gap fill that constitutes, where's it at? That constitutes them sweeping this. Them sweeping 72.37. Here. The market is trapped between here and here right now. Here and here, it was here and here. That's why here we did nothing but go sideways. See, the market is trapped. 2 days ago, I said here and here. That's why when we opened up here, we did nothing but really go sideways and churn people. Then when we gap down slightly closer towards this, now it's trapped between this and this. They're just pinning the market. So you don't know where they're getting ready to go. Neither do I. So if that's the case, and if they don't know, then I damn sure don't know, and I know for a fact that you don't know. So if we don't know, then why would we do? Best to watch out and be on hyper alert. Remember what I said about not shorting. Don't do that. Remember what I said about not long. About not shorting. Don't do that. Took shorts of that internal liquidity sweep and made 302 micros. Good job, guy. They're forming a trend line. This is not good. That's a trend line right here. Don't goof around with that. Looks bearish to me. That's a trend line. 1, 2, I believe. 3, 4, count up the door. Just because I see a trend line does not mean I'm going to short that. Why? Because the rules override what I see. Because the rules will save you more times out of not. One exception does not make the rule. The rule is the rule. And the rule says you don't short it for the 950 macro ahead of Michigan consumer sentiment release. That's what the rule is. So don't deviate. One exception does not make the rule. Can't hear you no more, E. Can't hear me no more? Your mic cut out. Test, 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 test. Can y'all hear me? Test. You good now? The mic is good. Okay. So what I said was there's a trend line there. But just because that trend line is there, that does not mean you short that. Why? Because the rule says don't do that. The rule is the rule. Just because they show you something, if it is in direct confliction with the rule, you don't break. You better have a damn good reason on as to why you do that. Like a serious, serious good reason. This is not a good enough reason. We're goofing around in a 15-minute BISI, and it's the 950 macro ahead of Michigan consumer sentiment. It is a 90% chance you will lose from 946 until the macro ends. I said that earlier today before 946. It is a 90% chance you will lose. Don't do that. Understand what I just told you now. Please understand that. Okay? So, that's that. Just because the rule doesn't work one time doesn't mean you go, oh, well, I'm going to forget all my training. So the rule don't work. No, the rule is there. Just because a guy falls off a building and survives because he jumped off a building, that doesn't mean you go, well, one guy survived jumping off of a building, so maybe building jumping might be a good idea because, I might be able to survive that. So what's the risk? I would not advise that. That's not something I would advise. They're goofing around right now with this high being popped and this trend line going about at the same time. This is dangerous in both directions. Understand what I'm trying to tell you now? This is dangerous in both directions. Why? Because they could pop this high and then for this data release, yeet it through this floor and then go higher. I see almost every scenario resulting in them somehow coming up here and taking out this HOD. Every scenario I think in my brain results in them coming into like 707.50, almost 708. Every scenario I have in my brain. So like if they dump this, then I'm going to immediately think they're getting ready to reverse. Every scenario I have in my brain has them come. Look at that. That right there is like what I'm talking about. There is no scenario where I thought they were seriously trying to go lower. This macro is bullish 90% of the time. I have told you that in this pre-market meeting. You do not short this. I hope that the people inside the Discord now understand the importance of being in the pre-market meeting. I hope that you understand that. Do you now understand that? Like, if you were short this, your account got blown. So if you showed up to this meeting, or if you have some kind of strategy that aligns with what I was looking at, then you made money off of that confirmation. This is the importance of being in that meeting at 9, 10 a.m. in the morning from inside Discord. That is the importance of it. I will tell you what's going on and what I'm thinking. It will save you. At the very least, it'll stop you from doing something foolish. Because if you was thinking about shorting this, you would have been like, well, you know what? I'm going to at least listen to the dude that actually did the hard work for me. I did the hard work for you. All you got to do is just be inside here and just show up and listen. The hard work is done, bro. The hard work is done. The hardest thing that you have to do is study that knowledge center and show up to these free mentorships and put some effort in, bro. This is the easiest opportunity that you'll have to make 10, 15, 20 plus $1,000 a month, dude. This is the easiest opportunity. There is nothing else that's going to be easier than this. And you still probably don't want to take this seriously. This is bullish. Just learn something new for sure. What'd you learn? Card trades, what'd you learn? Every scenario I had in my brain resulted in them going higher. There was not one scenario in my mind where I thought they was going to go lower. And I told you don't short that or don't break that rule. They want to go higher and not lower. Data releasing in 1 minute. Easy money I take. That's funny. Hold on, let me turn on the music. Is the music on? Yeah, it is. You said on short 950 macros. It's bullish 90% of days.
We made 200 on the long.
For MCS. Not on random days. Read that pre-market trading plan. Easy money
I
he
always
take.
do. Always do.
He took a call and made $300 from inside here. That is a lifetime membership off of one call and confirmation. That is cash. He has
Yep.
a lifetime access now off of that alone. That is lifetime access. One call in his cash account. Be on alert. They want to squeeze this. Call done for the day up $400. I think it should be done too. He's on a TPT Pro. TPT Pro. Look at that. They want to go higher, not lower. It's best we be on alert. I'm gonna follow that rule now. Yeah, don't do that. Just don't do the opposite. Just do not do that. It's just best you just not goof around with that at all. I'm going to extend this because this will probably come into play later. The market does not forget. You might forget, but the market does not. Look at Iman Shumpert. MCS came in at 49.5. Estimate was forecast was for 48.9. The previous was 44.8. The 5-year expectation came in at 3.3. Forecast was 3.4, and the previous was 3.4 for the inflation. Consumer expectations came in at 50.7. Forecast was 49.3. Previous was 44.1. Current conditions dropped a little bit to 47.7, which is the least important. And the forecast was for 48.4, and the previous was 45.8. So it improved. So it improved from the previous, but it just didn't beat the expectations. 1 year expectations came in at 4.6, and the forecast was 4.6. Previous was 4.8. This is not a bearish reading. Well, Mark News is not bullish or bearish, but this is not like this cannot be misconstrued as a disaster of a reading. If anything, it is positive data. Something can be positive and the market still dump. Understand what I just told you? Something can be positive and the market will still dump. Something can be interpreted as negative. It could be a negative set of data and the market still move. So that is a positive set of data that just released, not bullish or bearish. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as, oh my goodness, that news is bullish. There's no such thing. How do you know that? How do you know what the computer getting ready to do? Who told you that? So stop guessing on news releases. That's a gamble. Those scammers convinced me in the beginning of my trading journey that I could actually trade news and figure it out. I lost tens of thousands of dollars on that strategy.
Yeah, you can't trade the news.
Can't trade no news.
Most of the time, it's backwards all
Yeah,
the time.
literally. Yeah, a lot of times they'll initially go up, but then they'll dump it on good news, and you'll be like, "What the hell
Yep.
happened?" I lost so much money doing that. Whereas, like, if I just had a mentor, like right now, telling me for $59 per month what not to do, I would just go, okay, well, he said that, so like, I'm just not going to do that. And then maybe I'm like, okay, well, what can I do? Well, maybe I'll try and find something else. How's that? That alone would have saved me tens upon tens upon tens upon tens of thousands of dollars in my journey. If I just had somebody to believe in, they want to go higher and not lower, it appears. Don't short this. Why so? This ES is trying to get off this ground, and ES is trying to come up here and pop this high right now. ES wants to pop this high right here. So if ES comes up here and pops this high right over here that they're trying to come to right now, NQ is getting ready to squeeze into the moon. Okay? So you've been warned. I said don't short this. They want to go higher and not lower. Don't do that. So help me. Just don't do that. Just choose to do something else. Just like seriously, elect to do something else with your time. That'll be more beneficial. They just popped that high just now, like I told you. 60 seconds later. Like, choose to do something else with your time and your efforts. Don't short this. Literally happened the other week. Dumped on good news. Yeah. They dumped the market 5% on a bullish non-farm payrolls release. That right there proves my point. They dumped it 5% in a straight line. The market never went higher. They want to go higher and not lower. The market is glitching out. ES is going parabolic right now. ES is literally going Did they just feel like gap?
Yeah, I
No.
long the ES.
They're getting ready to target this gap fill right now on this SPX. I told you this market is trapped. Don't short this. They're about to come here to the zone. Let me readjust the size of this. This right now is where they're about to come to. And then they're going to drag the QQQ along with it, which means that they're going to drag the NQ along with it, which means that the QQQ and the entire NASDAQ is going to go along with it. This is bullish and not bearish. Do not short this. They're targeting this gap fill. They're about to do this 100%. Don't goof around with this, okay? Just so help me God, don't do that. You need to put an alert out over here on this damn SPY, because this right over here will be the trifecta whenever they complete this. This is bullish and not bearish. They're about to liquidation squeeze this higher. Don't short this. So help me God, it is best not to short. And he help us.
Man, I sold that put like halfway up that move, and if I would have held it, I'd have been up 1,200 bucks more.
That's insane.
That's great, man.
But hey, look, $300 in the pocket is something. It's not something to skulk at. Because I mean, bro, you made a doctor's salary in it, like, you know, what I'm saying, and bro, in like an hour, and well, less than an hour, because the market's only been over for 20 minutes.
Yeah, Matt. I took a
In
I
10
took a
minutes, 15
five
minutes.
micro. I took a 5 micro long. The bottom, like literally bottom, took the 840 or 949 candle. So
Right.
I'm right there with you, bro.
Yeah.
That would have been
Yeah,
wild
sure.
money, and I was on the TPT account too. That would have been wild.
You're right.
Yeah, nice trade,
Not a
man.
doctor's salary, but you get the point. Because 300 times, because why? Because 300 times 250 is just 75,000. But I
Hour.
mean, that's 75. But you made 300 bucks. I keep on getting confused.
But in
Three
10
hundred
minutes.
bucks in a half hour ain't bad.
Yeah, I mean that's 300 bucks an hour, and 300 bucks in less than an hour worth of work.
Yep.
That's how I look at. Look at that. They just filled that gap that I told you about. This is bullish and not bearish. They want to go higher and not lower. Why are you shorting this? Just took gold longs, made 300 payouts, secure, bang. Good job, Farouk. Proud of you, sir. The more I see people trade, the more I realize no matter how small any profit is better than going negative and maybe blowing an account. That is 100% correct. No profit is better than taking a loss. Not being in a position is the most. Not being in a position is the most important position that you could possibly or even remotely consider taking. They haven't completed this trifecta on this SPY. They did it on the SPX. This right here is what I'm eyeing next. They just did this. You see the circle here? They just did that. This is what I think is next. I think that they want to take this whole thing green here and come up inside this zone here. This right here is where I think they're eyeing next. I still would not short this. However, at this point in time, I think that the most dangerous thing you can do right now is long this. What I would not do right now is short this.
Yeah,
Understand what I
just
just told you.
best to wait.
Understand what I just told you now. Though that statement makes sense. If it does not make sense to you, you need to ask what that means at the mentorship meetings in the weekend. I think the most dangerous thing you can do is press this long button right now, this second. But what I would
Yep.
not do, what I would not do right now, this second, is short this, because I can clearly see they're getting ready to come up higher and burst this high, and take this entire market to the green. Okay, so understand that now. The SPY is trying to squeeze, and QQQ is trying to dump. Understand what I just told you now. SPY is trying to liquidation squeeze, stretch, and QQQ is trying to dump. The most dangerous thing you can do is press this long button. What I would not do is short this. Understand what I just told you, please. Look at that. SPY is about the liquidation, squeeze it into the zone. I think that every red candle is going to become green until proven otherwise. Life been tough lately. So, I'm blessing the first 6 folks that messaged me. God did. Religion is the religion is
Get a
one of
gap on
the
the cues.
yeah, they're about to go higher for sure. Religion is one of the easier ways to get people to lower their guards so you can take advantage of them. That's why they do it. Because if it didn't work, then people wouldn't do it. If something doesn't work, then people aren't going to do it. They know for a fact that they can get you to lower your guard by invoking the magic word God into everything. They know that. Because if they sell themselves as a righteous person, then they can fool you and take your money, which is not righteous.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, I just find that funny.
Yep.
Righteous people are not going to advertise. Non-righteous people are not going to advertise themselves as righteous. I'm sorry, non-righteous people are not going to advertise themselves as non-righteous. They're going to advertise
Nope.
themselves as righteous,
I'm
even though
gonna
they're
stop
fully
following
demonic.
you. You giving out my secrets.
Even though they're demonic. Like the most demonic people, believe it or not, and the most non-righteous people probably know more about the Bible and probably know more about religion than non-righteous people, because they have to know what fools people. So like
Yeah.
they have so like
You
they
said
have to
that
study
back.
their
You said
opponent.
that backwards.
Yeah, I said what?
You said it backwards.
Okay. What did I mean to say?
Uh, you meant to say that non-righteous people know more about the Bible than righteous people. 'Cause they
Correct.
need to know so they can fool you.
That is correct.
Absolutely right.
That
Absolutely
is
right,
correct.
Phantom.
They just feel this. Holy shoot! They just feel that in one swoop, like I told you.
I know those are
Phantom,
my
Phantom, are you a
kings.
philosopher?
Are you a philosopher?
Yes, slightly. Yeah.
I told you I was
Yeah.
getting ready to go higher, and you were sitting there goofing around. They just took this entire market green. I told you that. But let's not. But let's not be confused. But that is a factual story for another day. Because if you're righteous, you just go about just trying to do the right thing, man. Like, bro, like you're not trying to confuse nobody.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to know the handbook.
No.
If you're evil and
It's
insidious
in
and you
your.
just like to scam or fool people and bend the rules, you have to know the rule book so you can know how to maneuver. So that whenever the time comes available, you can fool and deceive people. Because you can't deceive people or make people believe something if you don't know. Because
Yep.
they're not going to believe you. So if that's not your lifestyle, you
Nope.
have to know.
You
Hold up.
gotta.
Be
You
on
gotta
alert.
have. You gotta have the answers.
Correct. Be on alert. I do not think that this is bullish. They just popped this high just now. I do not think that this is bullish. The safe thing to do right now is to wait for a first presenter. They just took this entire market green just now. Be on alert. And they just popped yesterday's high just now. They took this whole market green, you know. Hmm. Look at this market go green. It's best we wait for first presenter. Watch out. See? You see that? You see what I'm talking about? Yo, what's up, B? What's up, my money? Passed my 30 eval today. Good job, brother. You see what Jesse Rogers says? You see that? That right there is like what I'm talking about. I just got back. Sorry, I had to step away. But you see what I'm talking about? He says, I'm supporting the first 5 people who messaged me. Tough time. God bless y'all. Y'all see what I'm talking about? You see how they're directing? They're misdirecting. See what I'm saying? We did it, E. Good job, Zay. Oh, you profited? Payout, Zay? Is it your first one or no? Or you just got the payout? Are you religious at all? I am. I was born into a Christian household. I grew up Baptist. But I'm very logical. I'm not blinded by religion. Got that diploma. Good job. Oh, good job, Zay. Congratulations, brother. Proud of you, man. We'll blow it home for you in a minute. I am. I believe in God. I do. I just I just still understand this world is I still understand that this world is very corrupt though. It's still very corrupt. I do. I promise you I do. I really, 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 really do. They're about to dump this and it starts with 29503. That's what my brain telling me. My brain telling me that they're about to dump this and that's where it starts at.
Order filled.
I entered into a short just now to try and target this low over here. 120 ticks to the downside off of this.
Yeah, I'm in a short, but I got it at the top of that red
Order
candle.
submitted. Order canceled.
Jesus
Make
Christ.
it out. I'm getting out.
That was aggressive.
Okay. Take profit.
That was very aggressive.
Yes, it was. I only got in on six micros.
Order filled.
I'm going to reshort this again on 3 micros and I'm going to try and get 120 ticks to the downside again.
Order submitted. Order
Jesus
canceled.
Christ, again. Oh, wow. I should have held on to that, but it's okay. They're about to dump this. They're about to dump this and go now.
Order filled.
I'm going to short this again on 3 micros and try and get 120 ticks to the downside again. Jesus Christ, look at that.
Oh man, you
instantaneous
should
thing.
have waited.
Shit. Yeah, I should have. Fuck. It's okay. Fuck. Slightly early on this. Took a huge loss. Look at that God body candle. Holy shit cakes.
Yep.
Holy shit.
What in the?
What in the fuck was that? I had the daily loss limit across all of those accounts just now. What in the fuck was that? I had daily loss limit on 4 micros just now in 10 seconds.
Yep. Just more buying pressure.
Holy shit. I had daily loss limit on those accounts on that one trade. Fuck, if I would have held on to this trade right over here, it would have went through. shorting it over into the hole was a poor idea.
Yeah.
But I still probably would have lost on this.
Yeah, you don't want to give up the ghost yet.
Order filled.
I added another 3 micros onto this trade because I still have my because this so now I'm on a singular bonus account.
Man, it's bullish.
I think that was a fake out to then go lower. I'm on my singular bonus account, so I hit my daily loss limit across those accounts. There's nothing that I can do with that. I just hit my daily loss limit on those accounts. There's nothing I can do with that. I still think they're getting ready to go lower. That's just what I think in my brain. And I think that this move over here was fake.
It's gonna happen. There we go.
Hit my daily loss limit on those accounts. On all of those accounts, daily loss limit.
Man, very bullish, man.
Yeah, I hit my daily loss limit on those accounts. Shit. My God.
Okay, this should be it.
Fuck. I was one trade away from making $13,000 on that. One trade away from making 13,000, and I lost it. Fucking Christ. One trade away from making 13,000 on a payout. That was a $13,000 payout that I just blew. Just so you're aware.
Shit, man. I keep buying.
Shit. Hmm. They want to go higher, not lower. Hmm.
There she goes.
opportunity to get out of break even too, but I chose not to. I'm pulling up my other computer right now. Give me a second. Hmm. Got to take this higher, and I gotta cut this trade.
Yeah, maybe a little flag. Still think it's gonna roll over. It's just gonna take
Absolutely,
a
that's what
couple.
I think.
Yeah, it's just gonna take a couple minutes.
It's like what I think, fam.
Probably 3 to 5.
Look at that move, fam.
Yeah,
Look at that. This is making me feel uneasy. Which is how aggressive these
Order
candles are.
filled.
Shit.
I know. They just don't want to
Yeah.
let it
Look at
drop.
how aggressive that move is, fam. Holy shit. Look at how aggressive these candles are, fam. Holy
I
shit.
know. I know.
I had to reduce my size on this. Close at 617.50. 6.3. Okay. They're about to dump this to go lower.
Yeah.
They're about to dump this to go lower. dump this to go lower now.
Yeah. I know it just take a little time.
They want to dump this to go lower.
Order
Bro.
filled.
Okay. Okay. So, um, I got my other accounts pulled up. I hit my daily loss limit on 10 accounts. I have my other laptop pulled up. I hit my daily loss limit, guys. Guys, I figured that move was fake. That's why I didn't cut that. But when I saw that flash, I had to close out part of that position in profit. Um, I I am actually green on those 10 accounts. Um, okay, so I am green on those 10 accounts. So this balance is what I have across 10 accounts, $53. I need to reevaluate. I pressed this short button 60 seconds early. This is very aggressive. I hit daily loss limit on 3 accounts in 30 seconds. This environment is insane. That is a random 600-point candle in the middle of nowhere for no apparent reason at 10:20. There's nothing I can do against that. There is absolutely nothing I can do against that.
No,
So
sir.
I had to pull up my other account. I will send a photo of what I have right now. Apex. I had to get out of that. Once it went into the green, I had to get out.
Yep.
I couldn't see it because I'm because I can't mix my IP addresses. So I can't mix my IP addresses, so I couldn't see it on my main computer. So while I was in that losing trade, I did not lose my cool, and I had to pull up my laptop and I had to adjust and I had to take a look. Understand
Yeah.
that, please. So across those accounts, the daily loss limit has been reached on those ones, rather. So those are off the table. I'll send out the Discord so Discord can see what I have.
Yeah, I
So
said I tightened up my daily loss limits.
the daily loss limit will save you
Yep.
more time. It will save you more times out of not. Um, however, in this instance, in this instance, it hurt me because I knew they was trying to go lower and they just closed out the trade and they forced me out at the top. That's why like I doubled the size on this trade here because I figured it was gonna. This move right over here was just a manipulation move. I've seen this move 1,000
Yeah.
times with them. This right here was nothing more than full blown manipulation. That's why like I didn't get scared. So
Yep.
like when I saw this, I was like, this is fake. So I shorted it here. And then once I saw that flash, I closed out this position here from what's that at 17? From 17 to here for like 50 ticks profit. So I made 50 ticks on 3 micros here. And then I was
Right.
still in this and then once I did that, then my original position was up in here, and that's why you saw it. It said I was up 180 ticks. So I essentially took out this trade from here to here. So from here to here, I made it on 3 micros, and that's what turned me into the green. So I made
Yeah.
400 ticks on 3 micros.
That was
Okay.
nice.
So that's what
Nice
happened. They're
trade.
trying to go lower, they're not trying to go higher. This right here was a full blown manipulation move. So
Yeah.
they manipulated me, and because of the parameters that I have on the Apex account, I hit the daily loss limit. I'm done.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Once you hit your daily loss limit,
there's nothing I
you
can do
just
on
have
that account.
to stop trading that account.
Correct. So that's why. Correct. So just for transparency reasons, this is what's going on with my accounts. No, not that. That's the VPN.
We did come down.
Yes. They want to go lower and they want to take out this zone over here. That right
Yeah.
there is what I was anticipating.
I just knew it was going to take time.
Yes, you're 100% correct.
Patience is one of
As you
the
can see,
best.
this is what's going on with my funded accounts right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are in the green, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, my other 5, right now that I'm copy trading simultaneously are in the red because it hit the daily loss limit.
Right.
There's nothing I can do with that. So all it is, so these should be green, but it is what it is. Even if I
Yeah.
blow these five, that's fine. If I blow these five, look at that. They want to dump. If I blow these
Yep.
five and get these other
Yeah.
to a payout, I am okay with that. Please understand that.
Yes. Yes, sir.
I am okay with that. Because if I get these two to be why? Because if I make another 150 more bucks right now, I'm actually going to downsize right now, and I'm going to go 4 micros in this environment. I'm I'm going to go 3 micros in this environment. Why? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They want to go lower. Daily loss limit hit. I had to remove the accounts so that they're not going to be traded anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. My
They were
trade
not trying to
copy.
go higher. That was a classic manipulation move.
Yes.
That's why in this environment, that is a learning lesson. You need to be positioned so that no matter what happens, you can sit down comfortably and you can evaluate and go, do I like? Because if you were oversized, they instantaneously blew up the account because they would have filled you up at the top with a stop loss. They want to go lower and not higher. It was fake. I never thought that they were really seriously trying to go higher. That's why I didn't close at that position. The computer closed me out. There's nothing I could do with that.
Yeah, yeah. That happened to me this morning. Yeah.
And I
On
know
one of
some,
my accounts.
and I know some of y'all are probably thinking, well, if you knew that they was going to go lower, then why don't you hold? Some of y'all on the TikTok, that is. Well, why wouldn't I want to get out at green and break even when I was just down $1,000? Like, you can
Yeah.
always re-enter again, right?
Of course.
So it's best to get out at break even or in a slight small profit and then to readjust versus
Nope.
to go
No,
I'm going to continuously marry that idea that I was on earlier.
no. You have
You
to
don't want to
back
do that.
off and reevaluate.
Correct. You don't want to do nothing like that. You want to get
You
out,
want to
reevaluate,
lose and everything.
exactly.
You
And
stay stuck on one idea.
that is exactly how you lose everything. So be on alert. They want to bounce this. I still think this is bullish and not bearish. They just tapped this trend line just now that I told you was going to come into the equation a little bit later. But they tapped this trend line at a 1, 5, and a 15-minute BISI. These candles are huge. These are 100-point candles randomly. Be on alert. These are random 100-point candles. That is a random, probably 200-point candle up at the top. 150-point candle up at the top in 60 seconds, in less than 60 seconds because they ate it up. And then they bled it out the entire time afterwards. They never went higher. That's how you know this was manipulation. This price action is not my vibe. Down 900 on the front, up 300 on the other. Yes, this is crazy. Look at this volume balance that they just left. Today's the day in order to F around and find out clearly, it appears. Close of 56, low of 67. That's an 11-point volume balance ahead of a trend line. Bullish. SpaceX. They still might squeeze this into new highs. That right there was just a blind pullback. I gotta put my laptop away. You need to watch out for this. Look at them come back and fill that thing. Jesus Christ. Look how aggressive this market is moving.
And
I was 60 seconds early. 60 seconds, and that cost me a daily loss limit. 60 seconds early. If I was 45 seconds early, I would have been fine. If I was 45 seconds earlier, I would have been perfectly fine. That right there is exactly why you do not short on red. That reason, look at where I shorted at.
Yo, E, would that constitute as a double bottom on ES right now?
I short, yeah. Hold on, let me take a look. I shorted on red at the bottom of this candle here. You don't
yeah,
ever do nothing like that. Don't ever do nothing. Don't. And that's why when I pressed that button, Phantom was like, I don't like that, because he knew he knows you're supposed to short on green. Like, wait on the next green candle and then short it. Don't ever do nothing like that. And I still made it out by the skin of my teeth on that. It will be worth it if this next 3 micro trade goes straight to this TP. Why? Because then I'll make almost
Well,
$10,000.
plus I noticed you get fast
Shit.
pills too.
Double bottom on ES. Let me see. Low of this candle is 409.25. 409.25. I think that's a drawn liquidity. Yes. I wouldn't necessarily say like a double bottom, but this is for sure screaming to be taken out. The only problem that I don't like is that it's right aligned with a 5 and a 15-minute BISI. That's the only thing I don't like. And the fact that they had already taken out 710 just now in that QQQ dump. So they might very well try and go higher and bounce out of the zone here. That's the only thing that I just don't like personally. It's the only thing I just don't like. Oh, boy. Market back to being red now. The market was damn near green. The volatility today is remarkable. Why is that last day always the hardest day in order to make the money off of? Never got that.
Boy, I got 3 EOD Apex accounts right now that are fucking with my brain.
It's a psychological thing.
Boy,
Yeah,
just 3 of them.
full-blown psychological.
3 of them, bro. They are testing my mental and how good of a trader I am, bro.
Yes. Shit. I shorted at the fucking. I shorted here, and then I reshorted over here at the goddamn bottom. Like, what the? I shorted here, and I re-entered that where my and I entered where my TP was. Every time I've done that, I've gotten cooked.
It was
Every
going in, and the candles were going into your fair value gap.
Yes. Every time I've done that, I've gotten cooked. Every single time. They don't care about candle formations. Like, this candle formation is fully bearish, and they immediately God body shut. Like, this is a God body candle. There's nothing you can do against that. That is a God body
Nope.
candle up at the top. It's a full-blown
Yeah.
liquidation release. I think that they're about to dump this again with this trend line. But maybe I shouldn't short this. I think they might come up into this damn 712 first.
Yeah. I
Jesus
think it's
Christ.
done going lower for
Which prop firm is 20
meetings
Apex?
in future.
holy shit! I just hit my daily loss limit. What the is that, bro? It's just a manipulation move, bro. That's all that was.
Yeah. Yeah.
The trade, the trade was 100% correct. I promise you it was. This is a perfect example as to like you can do, like the only thing I did wrong was I didn't short on green. If I would have shorted on green, I would have been good. That's one of my rules. That has been the rule that I adjusted a month and a half ago, and that's why I've been on this winning streak. Because I've just been shorting on green with a clear draw on liquidity and just trading market structure. Whenever I short on, because if you short into the hole, expect to get cooked. That was what I did. I shorted literally at the bottom of this candle. The short position could not have been any worse.
Especially in this environment, like you really can't afford it, like unless you're on like 1 or 2 micros.
Correct. You cannot afford to do that. Anything larger than 3 to 4 micros, you're going to get blasted. They want to go higher and not lower. So yeah, it's crazy. Got blasted. 60 seconds early. That's a full-blown manipulation. There's nothing else other than that. That's all that was. They were going to dump this market regardless. They just wanted to give you an FU candle before they did. I've seen that move before. That's why I doubled the size on that trade. I've seen that before. I hate trading Fridays. I don't know why I still do it. Literally the account below days. Yeah, trading on Fridays is not. I really don't think it has much to do with Friday. I just think it just has to do with just, it depends on what's going on a Friday. Typically, the reason,
Yeah.
so typically speaking, the reason why Fridays is tough is because 2 or 3 out of the 4 Fridays a month have a crazy news release coming about. That's why it's typically hard to trade on a Friday, because why? Because usually some crazy news release coming about on a Friday. Like today is Michigan Consumer Sentiment Day, and then like one of those Fridays, like every 2 months, is the OPEX, which is the hardest day to trade. And then the other Friday every single month is non-farm payroll Friday, and you should not be trading that. That's the second hardest day to trade of the entire month. Non-farm payrolls is the hardest day to trade. So, I'm sorry, 3, because Michigan Consumer Sentiment comes out once every 2 weeks, and it's only on a Friday. That's why it's the hardest to trade. Stop and just think about that. Michigan Consumer Sentiment comes out once every 2 weeks. Not once a month, once every 2 weeks. So that's two of the 4 Fridays per month. And then the other Friday is non-farm payroll, which is the hardest day to trade of the month. So that's 3 out of the 4. That's why it's so hard to trade. ICT doesn't even trade on Friday. Friday is drag knowledge. Yeah. It is insanely hard to trade. That's why. It don't got nothing to do with it just being Friday. It just got everything to do with the data that's just dropping. It's harder to read. The price action is just unpredictable. They're going to do weird stuff. Market's trying to balance itself. Anyway. That's BS. I'm going to wait. They're making me work for my money today. I think that these people about to go lower here. I'm being dead serious. And I think that it starts with this damn trend line over here.
Order filled.
I'm going to short this on 3 micros and try and get 120 ticks to the downside off of this move, off of this potential trend line snap.
Order submitted.
Look at that.
Order canceled.
Jesus Christ.
Nice trade.
Fucking scammers. Jesus Christ. Payout secure. $220 on the payout. Be on alert. $10,000. 11 probably. God knows. How much? Let's see. 53,250. 53,250. I don't know how much that is. I have no idea. But the other ones hit the daily loss limit, which is okay. Because then why? Because it only cost me $500 to get those accounts, and I can get them back instantaneously. Who cares? So 53,250. Most like, and I have. So no, I lied. I lied. Because Apex isn't 52,600 like Bullinox. 53,250 minus 52,100. 1150 times 10. Okay, I lied. $11,500. I'm going to now switch over to my other accounts and trade my other 20 to 25 Apex accounts.
Congrats, dog.
I appreciate that, brother. They were never trying to go higher. This was fake again, so that's why I shorted. I paired it with this trend line. They were this trend line snap over. I told you earlier that I told you earlier that this trend line was going to come into the equation right over here. You see, when I drew this at 9:45. I told you it was going to come into the equation. I said, in my exact words, I said, they're not going to forget you are. And look at this. You see that? See this weird staircase and pattern I got going on over here? When they displaced from this, I shorted it. They want to go lower and not higher. They were goofing around this entire time. This right here was fake. This bounce and this weird digital pattern over here was fake, so I shorted over here when they displaced from it and then target this trend line. As soon as I pressed the button, they took it straight to the TP. And I went break even immediately. Why? Because if I don't go break even, they'll do something like this. So
Yeah, they'll just back up on you.
let me log out of these accounts. The Apex accounts at the payout. I'm going to request a payout today. Done. Hold on, let me log out of this. So, and I'm done trading the Bullinox accounts too, by the way. The Bullinox account. That's at 53,100. That's at 53,200. So I need to make like another $400 off this account to then request $1,000 payout on that. On that one single account. All of the other ones are at the payout. Discord can see my whole screen. The other ones are at the payout. I just requested $9,000 from Bullinox last night. I'm about to request another 11,500 from Apex today. That's 20 something $1,000 this week, and then I made $20,000 last week in withdrawals. Be on alert. People were sitting over here goofing around. I made an adjustment last month. No payout for me last month. However, $25,000 a week this month. Be on alert. It all averages out. I told you that. So losses are a part of the game. Are you going to make an adjustment? They want to go lower, not higher. Losses are a part of this game. Are you going to make the adjustment is the question. Hold on. Just losses are part of the game. It is what it is, man. Let me log out of this damn thing. Let me disconnect these Apex accounts. Off. 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 Hit daily loss limit on those accounts. Can't believe it. It is what it is. Market indecisive once again, correct. They're just going sideways. Take Lobster Unite, man. I'm not gonna lie, I was salty because I went to a restaurant just yesterday and I dropped down 5 bands, $4,500 some shit yesterday, because I knew I had a $9,000 payout that I just submitted for. And I figured, and I was like, well, I only need to make $200 today in order to make another 12,000. So
How much did you spend at a restaurant?
$4,600.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just part of the payout. I don't look at money like a lot of times. Like I don't look at money as just like just money. Like I look at it as though, well, if I'm making well, and this is coming from a guy who understands finances to a very, very, very acute degree, like a very, very high level.
Yeah.
but but sometimes if I'm just feeling good, like I look at it like a lot of times like I look at it as though like it's like collateral because like
Yeah. Yeah.
because because like for example like yeah I had to did a loss on those accounts, but even if I blow those 5 Apex accounts, it cost me $79 to get those, and then $95 for the accounts. 79 times, so it basically 80 times 5. 8 times 5 is 40. Add another zero onto that, that's 400. Plus an extra 100. So that cost me $500. If I blow 5 accounts, but then I get 10 other to a payout, just like how I did, dude, like I still made like $11,500. So like
Yeah. So
I just look
you
at it
don't
as like
mind
it's a cost of doing
you don't
business.
mind treating yourself.
Yeah. But I didn't treat myself though. The meal was on like $100. I just grabbed some oysters. But it's like my favorite restaurant. They give me free food whenever I go.
That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, no. Sometimes people can just get a break in life, and I just think that that's just what that dude got. And it wasn't even a female that I wasn't even a woman that I gave it to. Like I was just enamored by her looks. It was just it was a dude. Seemed like a good dude. Sent
Yeah.
me out free food.
Yeah. Always nice.
Yeah, anyway, I'm still tight about this. I'm not gonna lie. I feel some kind of way still because I got manipulated into that. I am upset. I'm very upset, and I know some people are thinking, bro, you just made bro, you just made like $12,000, bro. What are you upset about? I would be happy. I'm upset because I broke my rules. I don't like that. Because why? Because I know that the rules should save me. I should have made the money here without the daily loss
Yeah.
rules.
Yeah.
I should have made the money here. I should have shorted it on this candle because I would have waited until the candle turned green and then shorted it. I don't ever short into the hole like that.
Yeah. I made a good trade, on gold, and I didn't intend on making the trade, but I made over $1,000. But
Good job.
I
You
didn't feel
said
good about it
you said you
because
made it.
yeah, I made it, but I didn't feel good about it,
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Absolutely.
it was a mistake. You know,
Absolutely.
I didn't intend to get into the trade.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Like for real. Learn from. Finally able to request my first payout after 4 months. Tan says, learn from one of the best.
Congratulations, man.
Wow.
That's great.
10. That's 10. That's big time. Even though I might not be feeling the best, what I can what I can do though is that I can stay consistent. And let me blow the horn for you, brother. This is your first payout, brother. How long you been with us?
Yep.
10, 4 months, 3 months? Don't lie. I'm saving this right now. 10, first payout. That brightened my day. I'm actually more happy about it. Since February.
Yeah.
3 months, 3 or 4 months to turn profitable. Finally, from investing in yourself, brother. I told you. I
Yep.
told you it was going to pay off.
You
I
know,
told you. I tell people that all the time. Your journey just took 3 or 4 months. 3 or 4 months. Your journey just took that long. Other people's journey might take 2 months.
yeah,
Another person's might take 5 or 6 months. But if
yeah,
you stay in and if you stay focused on this, man, I promise you, the money that you put this little 59, dude, y'all not gonna miss that, bro. You not. Why? Because, bro, when that payout hit, I promise you're not gonna care. Just, dude, I don't care about them 500 accounts. Why? because I got $12,000 as collateral. It just is what it is. You not gonna miss it whenever you're doing the right thing. Yes, sir. A lot of patience, discipline, and studying. Let me say this again. That's big time, Tan. I'm about to blow the horn for you right now. Hold on. Man, that's crazy, Tan. Let me blow the horn for you, brother. Blow the horn for you, buddy. Good job, Tan. You got it, brother. You got it here. You got here. You're here now. I took that short
Yep.
as well with no market structure in mind. That's also another reason why I lost. Looking back on it. Tan, don't trade those accounts. Do not do that. Do not do that, T. You're done with those accounts. You're done, and the moment you're eligible for the payout, you're just done. Like you're done trading it. You request it, and until it's taken out of the account, you don't trade those. I learned my lesson last Friday. Yes, don't do that. Till that money
Yep.
hit. Don't do that until
Or
they take it out. When they take it out, then you know that they're
in
gonna
your
send it.
bank. Yeah. Yep. Don't trade with them
It's not
accounts
worth
until
it.
you
It's not.
get your payout in your bank account.
Absolutely, 100%. And guys, the reason why that's the case is because if you took the same trade that I took, like this for example, and you was like, like let's just say you was on 2 or 3 micros, and you was like, man, I only want to make $200. I'm only going to risk $200, and they give a guy by the counter like this, and
You're done.
and you requested $1,500, and you had an extra $200 or $300 left to lose. You thought before the payout becomes ineligible because the account balance dipped too low. You just became ineligible for the payout on one candle, for example, and now it's going to spiral you because now you're going to be trying to trade setups that's not there to try and get the money back to be eligible for the payout again, and then you're going to blow it. So don't do that. They're just goofing around right now. They're just monkeying around and they're just going sideways. That's all these people are doing. They're monkeying around right now and they're just going sideways. I'm seriously debating on whether or not that I should trade anymore at any point in time for the rest of this day, considering that I've accomplished a goal on one of these accounts and considering that I just hit my daily loss limit on 5 of those accounts, even though it was not my fault. Technically speaking, I should be in the green across all my accounts. So that's the only thing that I'm debating. Everything that I saw today was correct. Everything. I'm on the way to my 4th payout. Girl, I am so proud of you. I'm so proud of you, Kalia. Another student. I am so proud of you, girl. Man, girl. That's big time. Man, girl. Wow. Wow. I'm gonna save this too. Wow, girl, I'm so proud of you. Kalia 4th payout, I'm gonna save it as on my hard drive. Kalia, Kalia, 4th payout. Good job, girl. Thanks, E. No problem, girl. Don't do nothing until the account's requested, until it's approved. Request does not mean approve, everybody, for all the other students. I'm debating on just potentially calling this a day. Um,
He can ask you something.
oh, let me see. Let me check the Discord. You said what, brother?
I said, can I ask you something?
Wow, Colts up 40. Yeah, hold on. Let me read this message so that I don't ask foolish questions. Finally, got what I needed on these 3 EOD accounts. Been a rough 4 days on them. I'm done. 400 on the TBT, all accounts green. Gonna grab an eval and trade for the next hour, and then I'm gonna take a nap, a little under the weather. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear about that, Cole. Talk to me. Cole, we was talking about you last night, by the way. Shar told me that you was at that CP3 camp. Side note, Shar told me that you was at that CP3 thing like 6, 7 years ago when whenever Shar first turned pro, and he showed me the photo, and I was there, believe it or not, but I didn't know you then.
You
So
were
I have
you
seen you
were
in person.
you were out there.
Yeah, I was over there in wherever
Man.
that CP3 thing was in Winston, and Shard
Yeah.
pulled up a photo, and he was like, "Bro, this is cool," and I was like, "That is him."
Yeah, yeah. We me and him were signed to JCK Sports Group.
Yeah.
Whatever. I ended up leaving them like a couple months later, but we were both signed to that same agency.
Yeah, I was at UNC at the time, so I was
Yeah.
so Shard was just in town, and that was literally like 30 minutes from me, so I just drove over there. 241 locked out. Good job, Khalil. So yeah, but where'd you want to chop it up about, Coach?
Oh my man, I got like a serious question. Like, how, just like the charts, like as far as like when you're on the charts, like even like that trade you just hit in the daily loss limit, like the more you give yourselves the opportunity to trade good setups, and if you believe in yourself as a trader, the more often like you're going to continue to like find yourself, if you give yourself time on the chart and not kick yourself out of trades or hit daily loss limit or blow accounts, like the more patient you are, the more time you give yourself, the more you have a chance to succeed. How how similar is Discord to these charts and that same concept to accounts? Like, how many people do you see in here that are showing up every day, the same names, that have given themselves enough time to truly like stay in the game without like trying to rush the process, blow too much money too quick, try to build buffers too quick and lose accounts and get frustrated and quit before they ever like turn the corner? Like, how many people in here do you see that have given themselves that amount of time and learning curve to do that, still not succeeding?
So this is a very important question. So your question directly is how many people have I personally seen give themselves their all to the learning process and give themselves time as far as being or or what? What's the
Well,
direct
I
question?
can answer that. I can answer that question. I've been in here all this time and have not received a payout, but I'm not giving up. But
100%.
again, I've passed several accounts and blown them because of greed.
Okay.
But
Correct.
if you're in here, that tells me you've still given yourself enough time to be here. Like, I see you every day. You know what I mean? Like, you're clearly like,
Absolutely.
you haven't
Absolutely. Because
extended yourself in a way that you're like, dude, I can't do it anymore. I can't, like, I don't have the funds, I don't have the means, I don't have the time, like I can't do it anymore. Like, you're still here. That's what I'm saying. Like, you still have the opportunity to turn that corner and go get that first payout and get the ball rolling. You know what I mean?
Okay.
because I've learned so much and E offers so much information till my brain, it's like it's a need that I
Mhm.
must have
Mhm.
because I'm gonna miss something and I
Mhm.
don't want to miss it.
Mhm.
So I'm not perfect in trading, but I have learned so much than ever in my life of trading.
Mhm. Yes, sir. Okay. Yes, sir. I appreciate that, CME, for sure. And I want to address CME's comment in a minute, but then I also first want to address um, Colt's comment as well to answer that. To answer that, what I've seen has been every single person that has taken it seriously, their trading has improved. Every single person that every single person that I've seen that has taken it seriously, that has given Discord at least 3 to 4 months, which is 55 trading days, at least their risk management has improved. And at a minimum, their understanding of market conditions has improved. At a minimum. However, there have been about a handful of students because I've only been trading for about a little bit over a year live. There are a handful of students, though, that just because you understand it and you see what's going on, that does not, unfortunately, constitute success. That is the only thing that is left up to discussion whenever it comes to that. And let me explain that. So, what that means is just because, like let me put it like this. Everyone needs to look at trading like a vehicle. Like there could be so many different wrong. I'm sorry. There could be so many different things wrong with a car and as to why it's not running correctly. Your job is to get the car up and running efficiently like a Ferrari. That's like or like a high-end sports car. So for people that don't know much about cars, that's the ultimate goal. But you can still be profitable and still be on the road and still get to your destination and still drive, like a BMW. You don't have to drive a Bugatti or a Lamborghini. You can still drive like a BMW M4. Or you can drive like a nice little G-Wagon with some nice horsepower. Right? But so that's profitability. And there's a lot of things that go into that. In the beginning, everybody starts out with a 1970 like old Chevelle rust bucket with 4 donuts, and they all got holes in them. And the engine has pistons that are blown. So like the rods are destroyed. So like the car won't even turn on. You think you have a Ferrari that's going to get you to the destination because you think that just because you turn on that one time and you make $2,000 or $3,000 that day, you sitting there thinking, oh, well, shoot, I'm good. No, that's actually deceptive. That's actually very deceiving because since it turned on for you that one, that's actually more dangerous in the beginning of the journey. Because when you turn that car on, now you're going to be expecting that car to turn on at all times. And instead of you abandoning that vehicle and then going to another one that makes more sense, you're going to stick with that one for more time. So that's the problem. Now, to stay focused, what I have seen personally is whatever vehicle that you're driving, we get that car up and running in a more efficient manner. So like, we take it to the mechanic. You take it to the mechanic in order to fix the rods inside the engine. You take it to the mechanic to fix the timing belt. You take it to the mechanic in order to fix the transmission. We're fixing the big gaping holes here. But that still doesn't constitute you for when you get on the road that the car still can't break down eventually, if that makes sense. So what I have seen is like how CME says, CME is understanding it more and more. Now, CME is an older individual. CME is not 19 years old. And the older that you are, this is a fact. The less malleable your brain is to understanding brand new concepts. So it may take you a little bit longer. That's why I have to show my dad how to work his phone, how to work new technology. There's a reason why older people get phased out of new concepts, because that's just human nature. Your brain becomes less malleable to learning things. That's why older people can't learn languages as well. That's why. That's why kids can pick up multiple languages easy. That's just how the human brain works. So his journey might be a little bit longer than a journey of somebody who's 20, 21, 22 years old. But however, he's still improving. And that's why Discord is the way it is. Because once you understand the language, then on the weekends, we can then begin to plug the holes in. So CME saying he's having a problem with greed, we can begin to fix that. And once that hole is plugged, he now knows, well, you know what? I can begin to focus on the next thing. When CME first joined, dude probably didn't even know how to read candles at all for real. Like, he didn't know nothing. But now he understands, well, you know what? Okay, this is what I got to do to pass accounts, X, Y, and Z. I'm here, yada, yada, yada. Now he's making money, but now he needs to fix the greed portion of his risk management. Does that mean that he failed? No.
Facts.
So each step of the journey along the way is going to take time. And what that time frame is unique to you, I don't have that answer. But I know for a fact that I can't do anything with you if you can't understand that knowledge center. Because I can't plug the holes in if I can't direct you to that knowledge center? Because we can't talk the same language. So with that being said, like that's like what I'm talking about, if that makes sense. So he has other things that he needs to work on, and then once he corrects those, does that mean that he can go 220 miles an hour and 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds? No. But at least he'll be on the road and be able to get to his destination safely. So that may mean he may have $5,000, $8,000, $10,000 months. Does that mean that he's going to be making $20,000 a week? No. But at least he'll get to his first payout like you just saw with Tan, like you saw with Kalia. Kalia and Tan, they don't have a Ferrari yet. They have like a 2020 Kia Optima or a 2025 Toyota Camry, where they're able to like get on the road and at least get to the destination a little bit. But you got to get on the road first. And then like, you know, you might step on the gas, for example. I'm using this analogy so people can understand. And like, you know, like you might go, what's that rattling sound? Well, that rattling sound is my risk management. Uh-oh, let me adjust that through Discord, through the mentorship, through the learning, because this dude is live training every single day and explaining things to us on a daily basis. So then we go right back to the mechanic. And then once you are so finely in tune with what you're looking at, you don't have to deviate. I took this short over here because I feel as though that I got a Ferrari. I feel as though that, no, screw that. I personally feel as though I got a Bugatti Chiron. I got it right over here on my desk. I got a Bugatti Chiron and I got a Koenigsegg Jesko right over here on my desk to remind myself, this is where I feel as though I'm at. I trust myself and I trust my analysis. That's why I doubled down on this size over here and it never went higher. So there's certain things that's going to get you there through discretion, but to get to that level, it requires time. Trading is a skill that needs to be developed. It is not a point A to point B destination. Because even when you're at the destination, quote unquote, you still need to develop this skill. That's why I added a lifetime membership to the Knowledge Center now. Not because I want to price gouge you for $300. Bro, dudes is making that in one trade. Bro, like 3 times that in one trade here. 4 to 10 times that in one trade here. That's there because even when you're profitable, I want you to return to help others so you can stay sharp and make the most amount of money you can by being a part of this community here. That's what's going on. This is a skill that needs to be developed and honed every day. If you take a break from trading for 2 to 3 weeks, you need to ease yourself back in because you don't know the current market conditions we in or the regime we in. The market changes on a weekly basis, dude. On a daily basis, for sure. So, yeah. So, that's what I wanted to add on top of that. Porto laughing about the rattling of the engine because I'm assuming he knows about cars. Yeah, the rattling, bro. But if you keep pushing it and if you keep on ignoring it, you're going to blow the engine. Like hearing that rattling sound, you're going, well, I don't see no problems yet. I can still drive it. It's you goofing around and then breaking your rules. That's why I was upset. Because I heard the rattling sound and I still got to my destination. So I was upset. I was like, why did I ignore that? Why did I do that for? That doesn't make no sense to me. And I got burned on this by hitting DLL. For sure, Twin Killer says, getting the overwhelming. Definitely going to just had a mental breakdown in the whip on the way my grandma. Yeah, on the way with my grandma. What happened? Just had a mental breakdown. What happened to you? Shit getting too overwhelmed. What happened to you, Caleb? If I maybe for a week or two until I get my stuff figured out. Let me know on your thoughts on this. What you talking about? I'm sorry, guys. These messages don't have time sets. You guys, I'm just seeing these. Yo, I've been going through a lot of mental stuff, and it's affected my trading a lot. Maybe for a week or two until I get my stuff figured out. Let me know what your thoughts on this. My trade definitely improved. Just being patient, always remember my rules to be disciplined. That's correct. Guys, if you see somebody being disciplined, you're more inclined to be disciplined. You are a product of your environment. So if you get out of whack and you get out of line, who's going to correct you? I'm being dead serious. Who? That's why the best traders in the world trade in a group. You do know that. Guys, I'm not talking about no random traders online like the Furus. I'm talking about real traders that trade in skyscrapers in Manhattan and in Soho that make 10, 15, 25, $30 million a year trading, day trading. They trade in a group with other traders that are just like them. Because when they get out of line and when they feel emotional, one dude walks up and goes, bro, snap out of it and wake up. Why did you do that? Come on, bro, lock in. Come on, Shark, let's go. Let's get it together, bro. We shouldn't have been doing that. All right, everybody, no shorting this. No shorting this. Data getting ready to come out. Let's lock in. Oh, shoot, damn. It's 9:46 for Michigan Consumer Center. Damn, I almost forgot. My bad. Damn, I almost pressed that short button. Or, bro, you lost $250,000 on that trade because you shorted it just now. Don't do that. Don't do that. Learn, tighten up. Don't do that next time, bro. Okay, damn. All right, my bad. You know, you're right. But if you just lose $250,000 goofing around by yourself, who's going to tell you that? Who's going to tell you that? See what I'm saying? Yeah, you got to take a break. Yeah, no, you got to take a break for sure. Absolutely got to take a break. You should not be trading. Trading is literally like 85% mental psychology. It's mental. Because if I was burnt out over here and I got scared out with this and I didn't have the confidence to reshort this, I would have took a loss on that. It's mental of trusting the work that you put in. You put in the work. What, why? You don't believe it? Trading is psychological. You need to have the mental restraint to go, man, you know what? Damn. Today was a good day. Maybe I should walk away. That's mental. It has nothing to do with that. Has nothing to do with technical analysis or fundamental analysis. This move over here has nothing to do with technical nor fundamental analysis. Nothing. I knew the mental game they were playing with this on this manipulation move. So I reshorted it. It has nothing to do with that. That is 100% psychological. Me closing out my accounts at this payout and going, man, should I go for on this Friday and should I have a good day? Has everything. It has everything to do with mental. And not wanting to tempt them on a Friday and blow my other 20 to 25 funded accounts that are probably like $500 or $600, $700 away from a $20,000 payout. When I can make another $30,000 to $40,000 in cash again next week. I mean, next week's gonna come. Why I gotta rush for? I'm being dead serious. Like, why I gotta rush for? For what? What? 20 bands a month for the last 2 weeks ain't good enough for me. 20 bands a week for the last 2 weeks ain't good enough for me. See what I'm saying? What? Like, I'm not trying to brag. I'm not bragging. I'm just being transparent. I'm being honest with you. A lot of times people think that saying stuff like this is bragging. But if I told you, bro, I lost $15,000, $20,000, you wouldn't think that was bragging. I'm just being for real. So I need to exercise mental restraint. Be on alert. Yesterday I closed a trade because it edged my stop loss. And then it went straight to TP. Yeah. It's mental. This is mental. If it's going to hit your stop loss, let it hit the stop loss. Mental distraught. I can feel the market closing today. Yeah. Trend line snap. Let me read these. Damn, straight seeing me. We ain't giving up anytime soon. Absolutely, J-Walk. Bro, you close, J-Walk. J-Walk, you're right there on the precipice. That's me too. I've been in a group. I've been in a group for almost
Absolutely,
6
sir.
months.
I'm not giving up at all. I'm here.
Yes, sir. My trading has improved, but have not yet received a payout. I'm okay with that because I have continued to improve. It's my personal negative traits that I have been battling, not E's system. His. I don't want people to think that I'm not ready. And not E's system. His system works. It's me over leveraging, being greedy, bad entries, bad exits. I'm learning. I'm okay with that. In the long run, I know I'm going to be profitable, no doubt in my mind. That is 100% correct. 100% correct. And my system is how I trade my system personally. So I can only show you how this system is, like how I'm profitable. But the things that I'm saying and me trying to keep you away from danger is where the real value in lies at. And that knowledge center and the models inside Discord can be molded around the things that I'm saying. So guys, honestly speaking, guys, I'm really not trading no system for real. Guys, I'm just trading just straight draws and liquidity, weird LR patterns, and trend lines in the opposite direction. That's it. And then long enough first position is just targeting liquidity. You can still develop, you still have to develop your own system by studying that knowledge center and by studying up inside Discord and those models. So, yeah. So, I appreciate that for sure, Blaster. Been here since August, but me being a collegiate athlete, I was never in the live streams for until December/January. That's correct. Basketball in school was taking away a lot of time throughout the week. That's why this summer I've been trying to work on balancing hitting the gym and trading. I haven't received a payout yet, but I just passed my first account last week. There you go. And you need to keep what's most important the most important, Velo. You need to keep what's most important the most important. Because a lot of my friends are collegiate athletes as well, and I tell them, you have a small amount of window to realize your dream and to accomplish that. If you can learn this in the meantime and continue to sharpen your skills, whenever the time is right, you'll be ready to go with this. This market will always be here. We will be here for you. So your journey is just taking a little bit longer as well because you have other serious priorities. And just like how with collegiate sports, that's a skill that needed to be developed. You didn't become a college athlete in the first year or two, bro. Hell no. You've been working on that for decades. For at least a decade or more. Every day, putting your life on the line with that. That's serious. It's the same thing with this. It's a skill that we need to develop. Just got 2 hours off that dump. Oh, good job. Yes. After 30, neuroplasticity significantly declines, and all behavior patterns to your 20s matter. So your 20s matter. Correct. Relatively equal. Okay. Success and growth in this space is shown on social media like it's thousands of dollars in payouts. Correct. Fancy cars, new cribs, but important part of that question I asked was just wanting to remind everybody this journey is a little different for all. That is correct. Growth comes at different paces. That is correct. Some people start brand new. Some come in just trying to sharpen their edge and find a community. But everybody in here has the opportunity to grow weekly and become the better version of themselves for where they are presently at. Enjoy that journey. Remember, this journey doesn't end or begin with just payouts. It will begin or end with how well you are crafting that skill. I don't need a big day. I need another good day. I'm gonna screenshot that. I'm gonna save that. Trendline snap. What's been working for me is small days of profit adding up over time. That's all that I do. And scaling down, correct. Having a managed risk of what you are not willing to risk more than per day and staying true to that. That is correct. This one account I got 4 payouts on and made 4K from it is because I've been compounding my trades and not trading more than 3 micros, and it's paid off for me and been working. Small wins are adding up. Wow. That's crazy, bro. 100, 200, 300. Wow. These shorts deliver so poorly. Yeah. 13 on Qs to the downside. Okay. About to take a look. 16 on SPX is created at 11:29. Here, that's small. I'm not paying attention to nothing on the SPX unless it's above like a 60. Man, let's stay mental and stay true. Thanks, Grant. That's all that I do, bro. For real talk. Every time I'm green, all I hear in my head is best I break even, best I go. Right, Portal. Timestamp 11:33 before the 11:50 macro. Do I sit here and do I enjoy my weekend and then start afresh on Monday? Or do I force this on this Friday in negative HVL with this price action? What do y'all think, man? I need 50 bones to pass this eval. Zero says. Go, Jones says. Adore, what's yours, dude? Go enjoy your weekend, Jones says. Check it out. How we doing, fam? We hanging in there, man. My daily loss limit on one of those accounts. I might take a trade on to try and help Zero with making $50 on this eval. I don't know. I gotta take a look. $50 he needs. What can make me $50? 2 micros and what? 2 micros and 60 ticks on 2 micros is $50. Caught that bounce at the FVG. Okay, you got it? I'm good. Okay, good. I feel better, yeah. Smart. Good man. But they're getting ready to dump this right now because it's a volume balance lower. So thank God you got out. Why? Because I was getting ready to do this. Short this over here on 2 micros and then try and target this volume balance lower. Let's see if it works out. On 2 micros. What's this? Close at 26. Lower 36. Let's just see if it was getting ready to work out. This is not a trade I would have normally taken, just for clarification purposes. And then I probably would have added like another 2 on it just to probably be in 4. Potentially. By the way, guys, I'm just trading on demo right now. So this is just demo. All right. So I just want to see what they're going to do with this 10. Like if I do this like this, and if I try and target this low, which is this volume balance here. I just want to see if this works out, just based off of this volume balance trading with no structure, no liquidity. What the hell happened to my chart? What's going on with my mouse? Mouse will glitch out. This is strictly demo. Hold on, let me refresh this. Strictly demo. Look at the chart glitch out. Thank God that he got that. Oh shoot, there's a volume balance up here.
Yeah, I think it was coming back to get that one out of the 5 minute.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, it was a little bit closer.
Yeah. Anyway. Anyway. Go enjoy your weekend. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna go enjoy my weekend and not goof around and trade my accounts. That's what I think I'm gonna do. Anyway, anyway, you think it's trying to go to that 100 point creator yesterday? I have no idea where they're really going. Being dead serious, I have zero idea. Zero idea. Zero inclination. I'm getting roasted on this paper trade though, trying to target that volume balance lower. Mm, anyway, looks like it's retracing with Nvidia right now. Yeah. Guys, listen. I think that I should just go enjoy my weekend today. That's just what I think. I think I should go enjoy my weekend and just call it a day. Call it a truce. That's just what I think. I just don't think that I should goof around on my accounts anymore today. Because, like I always say, win, lose, or draw, I believe in you and I love you. All right? I appreciate every single last one of y'all for tuning in. The trades were good today. Every single trade I took was good today. It's just that liquidation candle caused me to DLL and it closed me out of that trade beforehand. So there's nothing I can do with that. But I still held on to the trade on my other accounts, on 11 other accounts, 12 other accounts. And I took one more trade and I got to and I got to what I was trying to accomplish and I called it a day. It's Friday. Best we call it a day, Porto says. Absolutely. Guys, I'll see you guys on Monday. I'll let you guys know the time for when I'm going to do the class. I don't think it's going to be Sunday at 8. It might be Saturday. But obviously, we're going to run the free mentorship class for all of the students. I'll let you guys know. Guys, that's why we need to be taking the mentorship class seriously so we can expedite your development in the most efficient way possible. That's very important. I'm being dead serious. That's very important. So whatever you're struggling with, we need to try and patch those holes. Or what you struggled with this past week is what we need to try and patch. And so you can study. Blessings. All right, remote. Good day today. All right, native. Proud of you, girl. I'll see you guys this weekend. And then Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9, 10 a.m. in the morning from inside Discord to go over the pre-market trading plan. Okay? So they never look back since that 950 macro, dude. Look at this. Look. Look at this. Look. Just look at this. Look at this BS. Before I go, look at this. Before I go, look at this. MCS at 10, 950 macro is bullish, 95, I meant to say 90% of the time. Heading into 10 a.m. Michigan Consumer Center release. Shorts are not allowed during this window. And I like to say 946. That's when I like to say it. I said 946 this morning at 9, 10 a.m. this morning in this meeting. As you can tell, pops have no real legs on intraday sell side, so it behooves you to figure out the market structure. This was last night, of course. Alrighty. Look what they did at 950. Look. 945, 946, they never went lower. And 950 came, they never, look, 950 came, look. This was sent out last night. Look, the market never went lower, look. From 950, look. Like, bro, you can't manufacture that. This is just doing your homework. And it was like the answer was here. It was right there, bro. Through all of this BS that they've been through, and look at that market squeeze. But you may not have traded that, but you know at least what not to do. That's my job while you're in here. All right. That's insane. All right, I love you too. All in trades. All right, brother. I'll catch y'all later, guys. Be safe. And QInsider.com if you want to join our community, so you can get that to your inbox too, so you can have a better fighting chance and maybe plug in some holes. I'll see you guys later. Go enjoy your day. Go enjoy your weekend with your family. All right, guys. Be safe.